On Thursday, we have learned about data policies and UI policies. Once again, I'll tell you UI policies will be writing like if we want something, if user is entering, like for like if on any form. So this is list view. So if I'm opening a list view, so let me open a list form, any of the form. So in that particular form, if you want to make something read only, mandatory, and hide or shows some field based on some condition. Okay. So if you want to make something read only or mandatory, or you want to show or hide based on some conditions on the other fields, then we will be using UI policy. So this particular UI policy is for the use, like we will be working for the user only if any of the user opens this particular form. Okay, like this. But in case of data policy, okay, in case of data policy, it will be even working if we enter the values from backend as well. Backend means through any REST API or through the backend or through the script. From anywhere, if you try to enter the value, that data policy will be working. But UI policy only will be working if we enter the values from this particular form. Okay. Are there any doubts here? Considering there is no doubts. So this particular UI policies will be under system UI. Okay. The data policies will be under system policy. Okay. So if you want to make some UI policy to convert it to data policy, there will be one UI action, okay, which is related link. So you have to click on this particular link, convert this to data policy. So it will, what it will do, it will convert this to data policy. It will work as data policy as well. So new data policy has been created from this particular UI policy. Okay. So UI policy is like that only, but along with UI policy, it has created data policy as well. Okay. And whenever you want to convert from data policy to UI policy, you have to click on this button, which is convert this to data policy. Okay. So that is just some interview. This is the interview question. What is the difference between data policy and UI policy? So here, if you see, data policies can be applied to import sets. So what is mean by import sets is like if you upload the data into ServiceNow instance through any XMLs or to any data, like for example, you have some Excel file or XML file. That particular data you want to upload it to incidents or something else, some other table. So then also this particular your data policy will be running. Apply to SOAP. SOAP is to SOAP and REST are some other REST web services. Means like we will be doing the integration between ServiceNow and other third-party APIs. Like this is ServiceNow. This is one particular tool, and there will be some other tools like Jira or Salesforce or any other tool you want to integrate so that you can share the data between this instance and another instance. So if there are any REST or SOAP web services or any other APIs, then also this will be applied. Okay, use as UI policy and client. So if this particular checkbox is checked, even if there is no UI policy, it will be working as a UI policy. Okay. So if you see inherit button, so if you click on inherit, the extended tables from incident. So for example, if the this particular inherit button inherit is checked for task. Okay. So if it is checked for task, then incident is inherited from task. What I mean is incident is child of task. So if it is clicked on a task, so it will be running for all the child tables. Okay. So if you click here, if anyone extends incident, so it will be running for all the child tables as well. Okay. So reverse if false, we already know. If the condition doesn't matches, it will be working in the reverse way. That means if it is mandatory true, it will become mandatory false. And, and if it is read only true, it will be read only false like that. Okay. So not even true, we can even mark it as false so that it will be running in the reverse way. Okay. So only if this condition matches, then this particular policies will be applied. Okay, it will be very similar to UI policy. The only optional we have is apply to import sets, apply to soap, users, UI policy and client. Okay, so these are the only options, extra options we have. Okay, so we'll be learning client script now. Okay, so if you see, if I type client script, it is under system definition. Okay, so under the system definition, so we will be having so many things like application menus, menu categories, or choice list, or tables, or client scripts. Script includes business rules. So most of the definitions, like you are defining something, like you are defining a client script, where you are writing a code. So all those things will be under system definition. Okay. So I will show you. Client script is under system definition. Schedule jobs is under system definition. Okay. Even okay. So background script is under system definition. Script includes is under system definition. Business rules, UI actions. So most of these are under system definition. Okay. So under system definition, we want client script. Okay. So I'll be opening this. So let me tell you a little bit background about client script first. So client script is, so why we use UI policy if we want to make something read only, mandatory, or show or hide them. But why client script? So in the client script, we have a flexibility to write any script. Like you can write anything. Okay, as a JavaScript code, and even you can use APIs like G underscore form API or G underscore user API, which is provided by ServiceNow. Okay, so these client script will be working on. So in this client script, we'll be working on this forms and list. Okay, so if you see here, we have some of the fields. So here we have client script types. Okay, what are the types of client scripts? I'll be telling you. One is onload, which will be running whenever the form loads. Whenever the form loads means whenever if we open the form or if we load the form, it is loading, right? So whenever the form getting loaded, then onload client script will be running on the form. Okay, and on change is on like if you from onload, if you observe, if I change it to on change, okay, if I change it if I change it to on change, it's asking me for a field name. So on change of what field you want to run this particular script. Okay. So on change means on change of any of the field. For example, if you change the state or if you change the impact, so on that particular field you can write, okay, on change of some field, I want to execute some script or I want to do something. So then you can use on change. Okay. And we have on submit. Okay. On submit is whenever you save the form or update the form or click on any UI action. Okay. So on saving or submitting the form, you want to make some validations. Like, for example, I want to, like, for example, I want to validate like if there is any invalid values in this particular client script. I don't want to submit this particular form. Okay. So I don't want to submit this. So in those cases, we need to write the logic in the on submit. On submit is whenever you are in after entering the values, whenever you are saving this particular form or submitting this form, you want to validate few things. Then only you want to allow them to submit. In those cases, we will be writing on submit client script. And we have on select it as well. So on select it, if you select, it is asking for the field name again. Okay. So it is asking for the field name means if you see it is in the name, we have on cell edit. So in the list view, it will be on cell edit will be running in the list view. So on cell edit means it considers each of the field values as a cell. And if you try to edit any of the cell or field values from the list view, then if you want to make some validations, then this particular on cell edit client script will be running on that particular field. Okay. Is this clear? So let me refresh this and I'll create a new one. Okay. So for example, first I want to write onload client script. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to like if it is a new form, like it is already a submitted form, how the new form will be looking like? The new form looks like this. So if it is a new form, I want to show an info message. Please. So in the new form, I want to show something like please enter all the mandatory values and then submit the form. So I want to show this particular message only on the new incident. Okay. So this is my requirement. So the table name is, the internet is too slow. Okay, table is incident. So if you see here, UI type is there, right? So UI type is desktop, mobile, and mobile of service portal and all. Okay, desktop means the entire thing which we are doing, which is on desktop itself. So mobile or service portal is like this mobile UI, mobile client script or service portal client script is which will be running for the service portal or mobile. So service portal means, for example, I'll be showing you how the service portal will be looking for any of the. So the default service portal which ServiceNow has given us is the URL followed by underscore like /sp. Okay, that is the service portal. So the service portal will be looking like a some web page. Okay, so in this also there will be tables. Okay, for example, if you see here, there is an incident. Okay, which you can see. So whenever they create any incidents or anything from the service portal, then if you want to apply those all these conditions or anything, from the service portal, then we'll be using this particular option. Okay. So because some of the functions may not work for mobile or service portal, that's why there is a different UI type. Okay, whether you want to run it for desktop or mobile, or you want it for both. Okay, desktop is all these platform. So we call this as platform or desktop UI, and this is a service portal UI. So service portal is uh, like more of a user friendly. It is where they don't know anything about service now. They want to request something, then they will be clicking on requesting something. Okay, and then whatever they want, hardware or office or anything, they will be requesting. Similarly, if they have any issue, they will be creating an incident. Okay, so that whenever they want some help, they will be going into this, and some incidents might be created or something, like create an incident or something might happen. So if you want to apply some client script to these particular things, then you have to select that service portal. Okay. So as of now, our requirement is only for the desktop. Okay. So what is my requirement? Whenever a new form I want to create. Okay. So whenever the new form I want to create, I want to show some info message. So any form which is getting created, it will be loading, right? So the form gets loads whenever I create a new form. So here, if you see the difference between submitted form and a new form, in the URL, if you see incident.do slash and like question mark sysid equal to the sysid of this particular incident. But in the new form, if you see incident.do question mark sysid equals to -1. So you have to understand that the sysid will be -1 for all the new forms in ServiceNow. Any new form, if you click on new, the sysid will be -1. After submitting the form, database will be assigning a sysid for this particular new form, and that particular sysid will be attached to this particular form. Okay, then from then on, if you try to open that particular sysid will be opening. Okay, so here in a new form, the form, this will also load whenever we are trying to create. So we have to write a onload client script. Okay, so so new incident. Okay, new incident means new form. Okay, I'll tell you about these messages. Uh, like description is like complete description, like what you have to tell whenever user new incident for the message, something like any of the description. Okay, so I want to show the message. So what is the method in order to show the message? G underscore form dot add info message. Okay, so in this, what I can do, I have to show that particular message. Please mandate for fields with asterisk. Before submitting form. So this is the message which I want to. So this is the message I want to create. So let me create a new incident. Okay. So if you want to go to the new incident list from any of the form, in the incident and dot do, instead of that I can just directly type underscore list, that I'll be redirecting to the list view. So if I click on new now, so I'm getting please fill the mandatory fields or fields with asterisk. So this is the asterisk mark before submitting the form. Okay, so that is the message I am just telling them. Okay, so if I open any of the other forms, like it is already submitted form. Okay, even here we are getting that particular info message. Why? Because it is also an incident form and that particular script is running or even for the already submitted form, but we don't want that to run for already submitted form. So for that we have, in order to check whether it is a new form or so how we'll know? So first we'll be searching for that particular function. Check if new form. Okay, in client script service. Check if new form in client script service now. So if you search like this, you will be getting some community. Sorry. So you will be getting some community like community.servicenow.com. There, all the people will be like you and me will be discussing. So how we have to write this. Okay. So someone has a second. This is reloading. So someone like me and you asked me some question. Condition on client script to check if the record is new. This is the entire question. And if you see here, two people marked as helpful. Okay, that means this might work for us. So for the new record to check, so they are using if g underscore form dot is new record. Okay, so if g underscore form dot is new record means this will be checking if it is a new record or an old record. So we'll try to use this particular code. Okay. So what I'll check if g underscore. So if you are not sure about that particular function will run or not, then what you can do? Then you can go to developer.servicenow.com and if in the reference, in the client side, you can check here. Is new record function, what it will do. Okay. In the glide form, we have is new record. So returns true if the record has never been saved. That means it is a new record. Okay. Returns true if record has not saved, otherwise false. Okay. Even we want the same function. So how they are checking here, if we can see here. In the onload, they are checking if g underscore form dot is new record, then we are alerting something. Okay. Even we can use this particular method. So here I'll be checking g underscore form dot is new record. Let me save it. So now for the already existing record, is it working or not? Let me check. So it is not working for the already existing record. I want only for the new record. So whenever I click on new, this is working. So our requirement is completed. So did you understand how did I wrote the code? Or any other doubts here? Okay. I'm considering you understood this. So in the onload, there will be uh, so many client script we can write based on our need. So let's check what are the existing client scripts, if we can get something from those. Like what are the scenarios? So for example, whenever on the form load, uh, so for example, on this particular form load, if the impact is high, I don't know, like let's check. Okay. So here I want to see what are the existing client script on the table incident, and I want of type unload. Okay. So let me click on show matching, right click and show matching so that I'll get all the unload. So here there are few client script, which is create child incident, remove priority one. So I'll check this remove priority one. So what they are doing on load of the form, they are removing option priority one. Okay. So if you see here, I don't know for what they are using, but they are trying to remove that priority from the client script. Actually, it is active false. This won't run. We'll check only active true records. So hide close notes and close code. So in this client script, let's check what they're doing. Okay. So they are getting all the incident states. I'll I'll even tell you what is G underscore scratchpad when we learn about display business rule. So let's, as of now, you assume that we are getting all the incident states in this. Okay. So if the, like if this form has the incident state field, okay, then in this particular incident state, we will be getting that particular value. And if it has state fields, in the state field, we will be getting that state value. Okay. So here in the mandatory, if it is resolved or closed, the mandatory will be true. Okay. If any one of it, like state is resolved or closed, then we want to make mandatory, which is close code and close nodes. Okay. So here what they are doing is, whenever the form gets resolved, okay, or gets closed, then they are making this close nodes and close code mandatory on load of the form. So this might be a bit confusing for you because they have written very short code for that. Like let me show you some real-time code. So load the form. So whenever the form gets loaded, okay, I want to hide this. For example, well, like we can generally do it from UI policy or client. Okay. So for example, on load of the form, I want this particular option should not be visible or okay. So for example, I like the impact should be always, I don't want users to increase or for example decrease. Like it is already high, so I don't want to show 2 or 3. Okay, as it's already high, I don't want this 2 and 3 should not be visible. For example, let's assume that if it is 1, impact is high, I don't want to show them medium and low. So how we can do that? Okay, let me create one client script. So remove options from impact. So if you see here, I'm writing on the unload, and if you select here on change, this particular function will get changed. If you click on unload, only unload function is there, and there are no parameters. For on change, there will be so many parameters. Okay, on submit, there won't be any parameters. On selected, there will be parameters. Okay, so now we are learning about unload. So what I want to do on this particular impact field. Okay, so how will I get what is the value of impact? If you click on show, the field name is impact. Okay, so from here we'll be getting the value of impact field. How we can get the value of any field? Where impact equals to g underscore form dot get value. Okay, so if you want to get or read the value of any of the field in the client script, you have to use g underscore form dot get value. In this, you have to pass the field name. So the field name is impact. The backend value of that particular field is impact. So I have passed impact here. So if the impact is high, or okay, impact is high. So if you see here, this is a list like choices. Okay, if you can see some choices. So this label for choice is one high, but actual backend value will be different. Okay, how we can get? So you can just, you see what I have clicked in order to get what are the values. You have to right click on impact and show choice list. Okay, so if you see choice list on the task table, we have some choices where value 1 is for high. Okay, and medium is 2, low is 3, like that. Okay, so as there it is on task level, I am getting for task. So if it is, if there are any values for incident, I have to take of incident, not task. Okay, so here in the values, first you have to check if there are any values for incident table. Then you have to take for incident table. As this particular field is on task level, there are no choices I have created for incident. So I'm just considering which is on task. So value of high is 1. So here what I have to check, impact equals to 1, which is high. So I do not want to show other options. Okay, I don't want to show other options. So how we can remove those options is, let's check what are the like in this particular here under the glide form, what are the like methods we have. So we have clear options. Okay, so we have clear options, get option, remove option, and odd option. Okay, so if you want to remove option each one by one, you can use remove option. So if you want to clear all the options, like remove all the choices from the choice list, then you have to use clear options. So as of now, I want to remove only one or two, then I can use this particular remove option. Okay, so let me use this remove option. If it is high, I want to remove on the field name impact. I want to remove this 2 and 3, medium and low. Okay, for 2, and I have removed 2, and I am removing on the field of impact. I'm removing 3 as well. So let's check if it works or not. If impact is 1, okay, if impact is 1 means I'll be checking is equal to 1. I'm removing impact 2 and impact 3. Okay. So let me reload this particular form so that onload client will be running. So it is high. So if you click on here now, I'm only seeing only high. Why? Because I have removed the low and medium. Okay. Is everyone got how I removed? I have used g_form remove. Is everything clear or should I re-explain? Okay. Stop recording.